All right. Hello, everybody. Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams here with a quick live update on the forecast. Time is just coming up on 7:41 on Thursday evening as we record this. We have enjoyed really nice weather for most of this week, but things are about to change as we go into tomorrow night. We have a Pacific storm system which is coming in. It will bring us a widespread round of rain and storms for late tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. Few of these storms could be strong to possibly even severe. There's also the risk for some locally heavy rain and the potential for some minor flooding. So we wanted to just kind of go live and take a few moments here in just kind of a longer format to talk about the weather forecast for you. So let's get into things. Here's a live look this evening. Again, things are pretty calm. These are essentially the headlines that we are tracking for you. We have widespread fog, which will develop tonight. The heavy rain is not going to be tonight, right? So it could be damp tomorrow morning, some low visibility, maybe some mist or some drizzle. But the heavy rain and the storm threat, that is going to be coming in for tomorrow late evening and for tomorrow night. And then behind the storm threat, so by Saturday morning, most of the stormy weather is already gone, but it's going to be very windy. It is going to be very windy on Sunday. We're talking wind gusts that could be 35 to maybe even 40 miles per hour. So here's a look at the radar right now. There is not a whole lot happening. What we'll see as soon as we get past midnight or so is we'll see a lot of low cloud cover blossoming over central Texas. But our storm system, again, is a Pacific storm system. So this is where we're watching this. You may have seen some of the national headlines about the atmospheric river event going on for the West Coast, especially California. So there's all sorts of Pacific moisture out here. This little system is going to swing down our way, and that is why we have widespread rain and storms coming in for tomorrow night. Now, before we get to the storm threat, tonight we're going to have widespread fog and maybe some patchy mist or drizzle. Look at our visibility map for tomorrow morning. As you can see, visibility in many spots, a half mile, maybe down to a quarter mile, maybe even less than a quarter mile in spots. So it will be damp. It will be kind of soupy tomorrow morning, but no severe weather, no heavy rain tomorrow morning or really through most of the day tomorrow. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So here is 8 a.m. We have low clouds, temperatures upper 50s, low 60s, and we go through the day. It's mostly cloudy, and you see there could be a couple of scattered showers, maybe a downpour, but there's not going to be severe weather during the daytime hours. So this is 4:30. Now let's keep going into the evening, and we'll stop here. So now across the hill country, we have scattered showers and storms that are forming. This is going to be the beginning of our heavier storm and our heavier rain risk. So by 7:30, places like Fredericksburg, into Blanco County, into Llano County, into Burnett County could be dealing with stormy weather. And although there is that severe weather risk, I'll tell you what, it is nice to see the potential for some heavy rain across the hill country. We know these areas need it. We go into 10 p.m. We have this broken line of rain and heavy storms moving into the metro and into the I-35 corridor. Again, this is right at 10 o'clock. Now, a few of these could be strong to possibly severe. Hail and gusty winds, the main two concerns. The threat for a tornado is low, but it's not zero. And again, some of these could produce some localized flooding. So this first round is going to move through. Now we're at 11. We have some kind of like scattered showers, northern I-35 corridor in the hill country. The heavy rain, at least the first batch of it, is moving into places like Bastrop County, into Fayette County, into Lee County, into eastern Williamson County, Milam County, parts of Caldwell County. But as we go further into the overnight, I think we could have another batch of rain and storms develop even back behind that. That's why it's not just the evening tomorrow, it's going to persist into the overnight. This model, and it's not a guarantee this is, the exact timing or exactly where the rain bubbles up, but I think it has a pretty good idea that by 2:30, we have more rain and storms, likely impacting especially Austin Point South, the southern half of our KVUE area. So here's 2:30. We keep going into 5 a.m. This last batch is going to be moving out of our eastern areas. And increasingly, it looks like pretty much the entire day on Saturday is going to be dry. The afternoon's going to be mostly sunny. It'll be breezy. Temperatures will make it into the low 70s. So I've got us like a 20% rain chance for the morning on Saturday, but really that's going to be like prior to 6 a.m. So by the time most of us are getting up and starting our weekend, the rain's already going to be gone. It's mainly late evening tomorrow and tomorrow night. So here are the latest rainfall projections. This is just one computer model. This is our graph computer model, and it has for Austin a pretty widespread ½ to an inch plus of rain. As you go south and southeast, it's got 1 to 3 inches in some pockets, Man, hopefully it's not right here over Fayette County again. These areas don't need more rain. Some pockets of 3 to 5 inches of rain. Now, lower totals for parts of the hill country, unfortunately, especially as you get out towards Mason and Llano. But that is not to say there's not going to be any heavy rain for the hill country, especially Gillespie County into Blanco County, at least as this model is showing, into Burnett County, into northwest Travis County. There is still going to be a decent little bit of rainfall. And I'll tell you, we have had past model runs that have these type of totals and have pushed them back a little farther to the west. I think this could be another system that overachieves, as many of ours have done through this winter. A good trend during this El Nino winter, which has been very wet so far. Now, here's a look at our flood outlook. So we have a marginal flood risk. It's the level 1 risk for flooding, so this does not look like a massive flood setup or anything like that, but there is going to be the risk for some minor localized flooding, just something to be aware of. And then our severe weather risk, this has actually changed a little bit since we last spoke yesterday, if you haven't checked in with us. Still, for most of our KVUE area, it's the level 1 risk, right? We've got the marginal, so it's the lowest on the scale. But as you go southwest of Austin, now, and this includes Luling, this includes far southern Hayes County, and this includes a little sliver of Gillespie County, there's this level 2 risk. So the SPC is kind of up to the risk level a little bit, especially down to the San Antonio area. For our area, not much has changed, but it just shows you that especially some of these storms developing to our southwest, I do see a large hail threat, maybe some gusty winds, and again, there's a low risk for a tornado. Also wanted to update you on the winds coming in behind this system. So this is a Pacific cold front. There's not going to be a big cool down behind it. Again, we're still going to be up in the low 70s likely on Saturday. Sunday's not going to be much cooler than that, but it will be very breezy. So these are not thunderstorm winds. These are what we call pressure gradient winds, non-thunderstorm winds through about noon on Sunday. That will be easily 35 to 40 miles per hour, maybe even higher than that in some spots. Tonight's forecast, 57. Cloudy sky, fog is likely, even some patchy drizzle or mist tonight. Tomorrow, it will be mostly cloudy through the day, high temperature around 71. There's a 40% chance for showers and storms through the day tomorrow. But again, the severe risk, the heavy rain risk, that's going to be tomorrow evening, not during the daytime hours. So that 40%, and by the way, tomorrow's Groundhog's Day. A lot of folks have been asking me, they think this icon looks like a bear. It's our groundhog icon. So it's Groundhog's Day tomorrow. I do not think that BK Bob is going to see a shadow because of all of these low clouds and the patchy fog. A 100% chance for rain tomorrow night. It's now just a 20% on Saturday, and really that 20% could almost be zero because most of this rain is going to be out of here by 6 or 7 a.m. It will be 70 and sunny by the afternoon on Saturday. Sunday is going to be sunny, 68, but very windy. Wind gust up to 40. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we go into next week, and our forecast pattern is looking much quieter. So that's where we're at with the forecast. I'll wait a second, then we'll go through this one more time. I know folks kind of come and go on these live streams. And also a few other graphics I just wanted to, run through with everybody. Also wanted to show you the drought monitor. So here's the latest on our drought monitor on the right. That's the current, and then last week on the left. Unfortunately for the northern I-35 corridor in the hill country, there was not really any improvement. But this factored in a lot of the rain that we saw last week, at least the rain that fell after Tuesday. So east of I-35, there was a step down from moderate drought into just abnormally dry conditions. That's just a precursor to drought, and that made it into much of the I-35 corridor. Okay, here's the other graphic I wanted to show you guys. Just kind of our threat levels. Again, if I had to break it down, I would say that damaging winds, large hail are going to be the main two concerns. We just have the marginal risk. It's not like we have a super widespread severe weather risk. But of the two things I'm watching, damaging hail, damaging winds and large hail. The threat for an isolated tornado is there. It's very low, but it's just not zero. So just want you to be aware of that. Then there's also a low risk for some minor localized flooding. So with these kind of overnight severe weather setups, we always tell people make sure you have the KVUE app downloaded. Make sure you have a reliable way to get your weather alerts, such as the KVUE app. And then if that's on your phone, just make sure you leave your volume on, you leave your ringer up. So if we get any severe thunderstorm warnings or flood warnings overnight, it dings your phone and it wakes you up. And I'll be here through tomorrow night. We'll be tracking this with everybody. I'll hand off with meteorologist Grace Thornton, who will take you through Saturday morning. Okay, one more way to kind of look at this severe weather threat. So here's just kind of the The main breakdown, level 1 risk for our area, level 2 down to the southwest. We can also, though, go into the categorical outlook. So this is the hail risk, where for most of our KVUE area, it's the 5%. So that means a 5% chance of hail within 25 miles of a given point. It's a higher chance of 15% down to our southwest. Here's the wind outlook. That's a little bit lower, so they've got the 5% chance for a damaging wind, pretty much area wide. Then here's the tornado outlook. So this is kind of interesting, where these are the areas that they're pegging for the possibility of a brief spin-up tornado. We're looking at San Marcos, Hayes County, into southern Travis County, Caldwell County, Bastrop County, and Fayette County. So again, this is not, honestly, we'll probably make it through the night and not have a tornado warning, but if anything were to spin up, these would be the zones that we are watching. So that is the story. If anybody has questions, let us know. It is 7:50 right now. We'll have our full newscast coming up on KVUE News tonight at 10 o'clock. What we'll do is we'll go through things one more time as new folks kind of tune in, and then we'll let you go. And again, we'll have our full update coming up on the news tonight at 10. So live look outside. Visibility still doing just fine tonight, but give it another 4 to 5 hours, and that's going to start to change as we have low clouds and widespread fog, which will be developing for tonight. Heavy rain and storms will be tomorrow night. So most of the day tomorrow is going to be mostly cloudy. We'll have some scattered showers, maybe a couple of little downpours, but no really stormy weather during the day. It's late tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. And then once the storms move out, which will happen by early Saturday morning, Sunday is going to be dry and sunny, but it's going to be very windy with wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. So those are the three main things we want you to be aware of. What's going on tonight? Not a whole lot. We had a little increase in cloud cover late in the day today, but the main storm system that we're tracking is still way out here to the west. I'll tell you what, there's been a ton of rain and atmospheric river event for parts of the west coast in California. We have this kind of weaker part of the system, which is going to be heading down our way. Widespread rain and storms Friday night. This is a Pacific front, though, which means the air behind it, mild Pacific air. So this is not going to bring a big substantial cool down. Behind this front on Saturday, we're still going to be up around 70. It will be in the upper 60s on Sunday. Here's a look at our fog tracker tomorrow morning. So before we have any sort of storm risk, which is tomorrow night, tonight is just going to be kind of damp and soupy. Visibility pretty widespread. I think will be a half mile or less as we have widespread fog, patchy mist or drizzle developing. And then that's going to lift as we get further into the day tomorrow. So low clouds tomorrow, temperatures upper 50s, low 60s. Through the day, especially in Austin, I think we'll hang on to a mostly cloudy sky. You saw especially northern I-35 corridor, there could be some passing showers, maybe a downpour during the day. But we make it into 4:30, and still we haven't had any stormy weather. Let's keep going, though. So now we go into 7:30. We have rain and storms developing first across the hill country, and initially some of these out west could be strong. This will become a organized line, or at least a broken line of rain and heavy storms. These could be strong. They could be severe heading into parts of the metro, Georgetown, Round Rock, I-35 corridor down into Austin, into San Marcos, into Caldwell County around 10 or 10:30. This first batch, I should say, is going to keep moving east. So 11:30 into midnight, LaGrange, Flatonia, Schulenburg, Giddings, Dimebox, Bastrop, Smithville, Elgin, up to Rockdale, Georgetown, Taylor, Granger, places like that could have heavy rain and storms moving through. And then here's 3 a.m. There could be behind the first round more rounds of rain and storms, and that's why the risk for stormy weather is going to persist through the overnight tomorrow. So by 3 a.m., especially the southern half of our area from Austin down to the south, places like San Marcos and Lockhart and Luling, there could be another round of heavy rain. This is going to move through 5 a.m. and then once we get to 6, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, all of the stormy weather is going to be out, and a good chunk of the day tomorrow is going to be dry. In fact, most of it, not tomorrow, a good chunk of the day on Saturday is going to be dry. The storm chance only during the early morning. It will be mostly sunny by the afternoon, and highs will make it into the low 70s. So we have more beneficial rain, which is on the way. I showed you the drought monitor. We would like if we could take this rain and move it back west across the hill country into these areas, which really need it. Fayette County, after picking up 12 to 14 inches of rain over the past 2 weeks, does not need more rain right now. But even for places like Gillespie County, into Blanco County, into Burnett, into Northwest Travis, into Williamson County. We still have a little pocket here of extreme drought over Williamson County. I think many of these areas will pick up some good beneficial rain. Now, this model is showing that for places like Llano and Mason, the totals could be a little bit more lackluster tomorrow. But again, even for those areas, if we get a heavy storm to move over, those lower totals could quickly go up. Now, the confidence higher south and southeast of Austin, places like San Marcos and Lockhart and Bastrop and Giddings and LaGrange, that we have heavier rainfall totals, which might not just be only on the order of a ½ inch to an inch and a half, but some pockets of an inch and a half to 3 inches of rain, and maybe some isolated spots that see as much as 3 to 5 inches of rain. Really, this portion of northern Fayette County, this was the exact area that had all of that rain back a week and a half ago. So the ground, it's had some time to dry out, but still there could be a flooding risk, especially over Fayette County if we start getting more heavy rain in a spot that has recently had a lot of heavy rain. A marginal flood risk. So it's level 1, it's the lowest risk, but minor flooding is going to be possible area-wide, especially watching Fayette County where we had those flooding issues a couple of weeks ago. The severe weather threat is a level 1, a marginal risk for most of our KVUE area. However, Luling is now included in the slight risk. That's the level 2. It includes a little sliver there of Hayes County, and it also includes a little sliver now of Gillespie County. It is possible they could expand this a little farther to the north, but you get the idea. You go south and southwest. That's where the severe weather risk is going to be a little bit higher. Large hail will be a possibility, especially southwest of here. Strong winds will be a possibility. There's a low but not zero threat for an isolated tornado tomorrow. Again, that's in addition to the risk for locally heavy rain. These wind speeds, these will be for Sunday right after noon. So this is 12:30 Sunday afternoon. These have nothing to do with thunderstorms. We call this the pressure gradient wind. There will be, it's going to be sunny, no storms nearby. It's just going to be very windy. We'll have wind gusts of 35 to 40, maybe up to 45 miles per hour. And then our weather's going to get a lot quieter after that. So tonight, 57, a cloudy sky, fog is likely. There will be patchy drizzle. Tomorrow, 71. For Austin especially, it's mostly cloudy through the day. There could be some peaks of sunshine in spots. There's a 40% rain chance through the day tomorrow, but the main storm risk is going to be tomorrow evening into tomorrow night, where that rain chance goes up to 100%. Saturday, I've got a 20%, really, that's like prior to 6 a.m., so almost all of the day, on Saturday is going to be dry. Sunday will be sunny and windy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week look dry, a little bit more cloudy as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures will be in the 60s and then eventually the low 70s by next Thursday. So that is what we are tracking for you. With that, I think I will sign off of here. We've been live now for coming up on 20 minutes, so I'll sign off of here. Meteorologist Shane Hinton will have you updated tomorrow morning, and of course we have our newscast tonight on TV coming up at 10 o'clock. Shane will be in tomorrow morning. He will do a stream on KVUE Plus on YouTube, on all of our streaming platforms tomorrow morning. Jordan Derensberg is in for the midday. He will do a stream at some point during the day tomorrow. Then I'll be in tomorrow evening. We'll likely do a stream and then probably have a radar loop going for you through the evening. So that is the game plan. Y'all have a good night. Hopefully you can tune in for our newscast tonight at 10. If not, we will see you tomorrow. And again, y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. Just make sure you have a way to get your weather alerts with this weather coming.